Yo, what is going on, guys? Lone Wolf here, and today I'm bringing you guys another Modern Warfare video. Now in today's video, I'm gonna be giving you guys 10 tips on how to improve and become a better player in this game. And I've been playing this game for quite a while now. I'm level 40. Let's actually check how much playtime I have. 8 hours and 10 minutes on this game. 1.8 KD, almost coming up on that 2 KD. My high streak is 30. I dropped a tactical nuke, if you guys didn't know. If you guys want to go check out that gameplay, I have a 2 win-loss ratio and just overall some pretty decent stats. I'm gonna be giving you guys some tips on how to improve in this game and do the absolute best you possibly can. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so starting off with the first tip, we're going to be talking about gunfights specifically, which is obviously a big portion of this game, especially with the mechanics in here. There's different movement from other Call of Duty, so you obviously have to adjust to that. But if you're ever wondering why you're dying so fast in gunfights, or if you're shooting first and you're dying first, it's most likely because the enemy you're going up against is hitting you with a headshot somewhere in the gunfight. And you're probably wondering, okay, what's the difference between a headshot in this game and a headshot in a previous Call of Duty? Headshots are super important in this game because unlike in any other Call of Duty, the headshot multiplier is super strong, which allows you to do so much more damage with just one shot to the head. So make sure you're aiming for headshots whenever you can, just to make life a little bit easier for you. On top of that, when you're aiming for the head and you get those headshots, you'll also be unlocking camos. So if you're trying to go for gold, diamond, Damascus even, you know, that'll help you out at the end of the day. So it's going to be a win-win. The next tip that I have for you guys, most of you guys might not want to hear it, and I didn't want to, you know, come to understand this tip until I started to actually play this game more. But unfortunately, this game promotes slower paced gameplay, and we just have to accept it. Now, I want to learn how to rush in this game, but you have to be a lot more tactical if you're going to do that. So I'm still trying to figure out how to do that, because you guys know that I love using SMGs more than anything in Call of Duty. I love running around with an SMG and just going crazy. So maybe want to unlock advanced UAV, that'll help a little more, and I'll be able to give you guys a video on how you can rush. But for now, this game promotes slower paced gameplay, so to try and adjust to that, you have to in turn play slower / smarter. The biggest tip I can give for this is holding down power positions of the map, aka places with the most traffic. So make sure you have good cover in those areas if you're holding it down, and most likely these places on the maps will have spots you can get flanked from. So make sure you're using a claymore, you're using a headset a lot to, you know if somebody's coming from behind you or something like that. So if you get lucky though, you can also get a good team, and you guys will most likely have map control, which will mean it'll be super easy to spawn trap. And spawns barely flip in this game as of now, as I'm recording this video. So once you lock them in the spawn, it'll be easy to get your streaks. Also, before we move on to the next tip, make sure you are mounting your weapon every now and then in the gunfights to increase your accuracy, because it's pretty much zero recoil when you mount your weapon on a wall, on a pillar or something like that. And you can also aim for the head much easier if you're mounted up and your gun is just like right there with zero recoil. Alright, so now that we're done talking about things you can do in game to improve your gameplay, let's actually talk about things you can do at the main menu. Specifically this tip, you can actually do this in game as well. So choosing your field upgrade, in my opinion, the best field upgrades in this game are the munitions box, dead silence, and the stop and power rounds. The munitions box prevents you from using scavenger in this game, so you don't have to waste a perk slot on that. It refills your ammo, replenishes your lethal and tactical grenade whenever you get it, so you can literally keep putting down claymores. You can have up to 2 at a time on the map. So that's obviously going to be pretty helpful. Dead silence is also important because footsteps are super loud on this game, so it can help you be more quieter in situations where you need to enter a building, flank maybe, or run into the enemy spawn, run away from the enemy spawn. Stop and power rounds, last but not least, are self-explanatory. Pretty much makes you do more damage with the ammo it gives you. But to piggyback off the last tip about the field upgrades, once you actually hit level 45, you unlock a feature called Field Upgrade Pro. And pretty much what this allows you to do is to pick 2 field upgrades at once. But once you're in game, you have to choose between the 2, and it's pretty much for situational moments in the game where you can make a decision based off of what you need at the time. Do you need more ammo? Do you need quieter footsteps? You can pick between the 2, which is really helpful. And I didn't even really know about this until I went to the field upgrade menu when I was thinking of tips to give you guys for this video. And once I hit level 45, I'm definitely gonna be, using this a lot, because just think about it, like, you can either get ammo, because you don't need a munitions box like super often, because you get it pretty fast. So moving on to the 5th tip that I have for you guys, Pretty much if you want to use a certain weapon in this game but you don't have it unlocked, or you don't have the weapon leveled up all the way, you can still use that weapon technically and it can still be efficient. And the way you can do that is through weapon blueprints, and pretty much this is going to be your best friend in this game when you're first starting off. You want to check your armory as soon as you get into the game and see what weapon blueprints you already have, and then from there you can make a class setup with it, whether you don't have the weapon unlocked or you don't have the attachments unlocked. When you get a weapon blueprint, it'll come with attachments. You don't have to have that weapon unlocked specifically. On the screen right now, you guys can see obviously the MP7 is unlocked at level 50 something, and I can literally use it right here. The only thing is that I can't customize it if I don't have the weapon unlocked. But if you have the weapon unlocked and you just want to use it and you don't have the attachments leveled up for it, obviously you can use those attachments. You can switch out some of the attachments, and the higher the rarity of the weapon blueprint, the better and the more attachments it'll have on it. So use this to your advantage early on when you're playing this game. And to continue feeding off the last tip, you can complete missions in this game to actually unlock certain weapon blueprints. So you can target a mission with a high rarity weapon blueprint, just grind out the challenges for it, and you can unlock it just like that. On top of that, you'll also begin XP, calling cards, emblems, and all that good stuff while you're grinding these missions. So yeah, there's not even an excuse in this game to not use a certain class setup, because you can pretty much unlock everything at a pretty early level as long as you're just grinding these missions. Alright, so this next tip might sound a little bit weird, but make sure your operator in this game / character, whatever you want to call it, that you're using fits the theme of the map you are playing. This will help you blend in more. It'll prevent you from getting spotted. For example, if you're playing a map with a lot of foliage, use a ghillie suit character outfit. And especially with this game being not as saturated as other Call of Duties, it'll be hard to kind of see your character if you do this. So, you know, if you want to just blend in, you not stick out like a sore thumb, this is the best thing to do. You might have to change your operator every, so often, just to, fit the map that you're playing, especially if you can filter the game modes that you're playing, and with the little quick play feature, you can kind of guess what kind of map you're going to be playing. Now, if you want to start off your day with some good multiplayer matches, this next tip will definitely help you out a lot. I suggest before you start playing a public match, play one private match game against bots to warm up your aim. A lot of people have been doing this in multiple Call of Duties, and I just thought I would remind you guys, play a private match game against bots before you hop on the public match. Warm up your aim. This is also helpful for figuring out what sensitivity works best for you. I sometimes forget to even do this, but it makes your first couple of games on multiplayer much easier. You don't have to worry about you have a potato aim or anything like that, and you can just get into a game, snap onto people, and have a good start to your multiplayer, because it's all about the vibes when you're playing. You don't want to get too negative, because then you'll start playing bad. So this is a good way to start off good and continue that momentum. So moving on to the last two tips, we were just talking about sensitivity. You want to make sure you have the best settings possible for this game in general. I made a video recently with the best controller settings, the best audio settings, and just in general settings to use in this game. You can use that video to improve the way the game looks visually, the way you aim, and just stuff like that in general. So definitely go check that out. And yeah, but last but not least, we have the final tip. And this one is probably the most important out of all of them, and it is simply to make sure you have good class setups. So you need some diversity with the 5 created class slots that are given to you. When you're making a class, you have to understand that the attachments that you put on the gun affect it positively and negatively. So make sure you're getting the most efficient pros and the least amount of cons as possible when you're putting those attachments on, and just have it all dependent around your playstyle. So whatever your playstyle is, make sure those pros match that, and make sure the cons don't really affect that too much. You always want to focus on having a faster ADS speed, because this game is relying on who is ever aiming first. I also have another video that I made that gives you the best starter class setups. You can use that as a reference. That'll also be in the link in the description, so definitely go check that as well. But yeah, just make sure you're using good class setups overall. I'll be making best class setup videos as the year goes on. If we get weapon changes to certain guns, then I'll let you know if you guys need to change your class setup or something like that. If DLC weapons get added to the game, obviously I'll let you guys know what classes to use on that. So make sure you guys are subscribed for that. And yeah, but that's all the tips that I have for you guys today. Make sure you guys drop a like if any of these tips help you. Subscribe to the channel like I just said. Turn on those post notifications to never miss a video. Follow me on Twitch and Instagram at LoneWolfXP. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.